What is underscore underscore init underscore underscore? This thing is a function. Okay, you can use it inside your class. And this function is called initialization function, because this function is used to initialize the objects. Okay, but what is initialization? Let us say that we have a class like this, and this class is representing a student, and we have 3 objects of this class, and each object is for a student or is representing a student. For example, the first object is representing Muhammad, and the second object is representing Jack, and the third is representing Nora. And this time, you can notice the attributes like student name is empty inside the class, and also student age is empty. When you create an object, the object is a copy of the class, and the attributes that are inside the object that you have created will be the same or containing the same value as the value that are inside the attributes that are inside the class. And the attributes of the object will be empty, like the class. Initialization is a concept that says you have to make the object ready to use. This is everything about initialization. You have to initialize the object that you have created to be ready to use. This is everything about initialization. For example, the first object that is representing Muhammad, now the student name should be Muhammad and student age should be the age of Muhammad. And this time we will initialize this object. Okay, now we have added the student name, and it contains Muhammad, and student age, and it contains 44. What about the second object? The second object is for Jack, is representing Jack. And this time we have to initialize this object to be representing Jack and to be ready to use. We have to add the name of the student and also the age of Jack inside the student age attribute. And also the same for Nora. This is the concept of initialization. You have to make the object ready to use. And this is everything about initialization. But why this function is used for initialization job? What is the special thing in this function? This is our class, and we will try to create a new object, and we will save the object inside a variable that is called UU. Now we will try to run the code. and we have run the code successfully. But there's nothing in here because we don't print anything, or we don't run any function or behavior from the object. Okay, now let us add the function that is called underscore underscore init underscore underscore, like this. And also this function takes self because the object is passing itself to that function. Now we will write something like print I am working. Okay, now we will run the code and there is nothing will happen because we are not running behavior number 1, or we are not running the function that is called underscore underscore init underscore underscore. We are not running anything. Okay, there's nothing will happen. We will run the code. Run. Oh, I am working. Where is I'm working? I'm working is inside this function that is for initialization job. Okay, why does it run immediately when we create an object? Okay, we will delete it like this, and we will put this thing, print I am working, inside this behavior, and we will try to run the code. Oh, okay, we don't see I'm working anymore. Okay, the idea of this function is to work immediately once you define or once you create an object. Okay, now we will run the code and you can see I'm working because when we create an object, this function will be working. Okay, but why is it for the initialization job? Because you can use it, for example, we will remove the values that are here inside the attributes. We will make them empty like this. And now we will use this function to initialize the object and make it ready to use. Okay, now we will add arguments here to this function that is called underscore underscore init underscore underscore, and the first argument will be name, okay, and the second will be age. Okay, now I will write self reach the student name attribute that is inside self, that is inside the object, and save the value of the argument name inside it. And also self reach student age and save the value of age inside this attribute. Okay, now we'll try to run the code. Run. Oh, it gives us an error, and it says this function, because it is working immediately once you create an object, and also this function has arguments, and this time it will give us an error, and this error will be missing two required positional arguments like name and age. Now this function is asking us to pass values to those arguments. Now, how can I pass values to that function? You have to pass the values inside the parentheses of the object. Okay, for example, this object is for the student Muhammad, and the name will be Muhammad and the age will be 44, like this. Now run, everything is fine, and when we write Muhammad dot student name and also Muhammad dot student age, we have to print them like this. We can see that this value, Muhammad, now is stored inside the attribute student name of the object, and this value 44 is stored inside student age, the attribute of the object. Now this object of the student Muhammad is ready to use. But how did we do that? We did that with the help of this function that is called underscore underscore init underscore underscore, and this is the function of the initialization job, and this is everything about this function.